Good afternoon. Thank you all for being here. Berkman II, after 13 years of being an eyesore, is coming down. The city of Jacksonville recently condemned that facility after years of working with multiple potential buyers and trying to come up with a solution that would not involve condemnation. That's where we ended up, and the new buyers are gratefully being incredibly cooperative. Crews are planning the demolition, which is expected to start. The preparation should take about 3 weeks, and then the demolition will begin. The buyer is Jacksonville Riverfront Revitalization, who's in escrow on the purchase of this property. Peace of Mind Environmental is the contractor that will perform the demolition and the site work. So we continue to do what we can to fundamentally transform our downtown for the better. And with that, I have Deputy CAO Stephanie Birch with me, and we'll take questions.
What's going in this place, do you know?
We don't know, but this is a great, obviously, starting point, removing this, and then we'll work with the buyers and the community to take next steps.
What would you like to see?
I'm going to let the market work that in the beginning, and then we'll work with community input. But again, you have a private owner that has purchased this, and that gratefully they are demolishing it. Stephanie, do you have any additional details on any of that?
That's great.
Jacksonville loves to blow stuff up. Is there going to be a opportunity for the community to come out and watch this?
Well, we're not going to blow this up. Actually, I say we, the contractor. I won't be out there. It's a mechanical floor-by-floor demolition, not an implosion. Will there be an opportunity to see what that looks like? Possibly. I'd have to get a better understanding of how long that takes and kind of what the safety protocols might be.
What's the timeline on getting it finished? Do you know yet?
Several weeks?
Several weeks.
No,
for the whole project, like to put a new...
We'll have more information on that. I mean, the first thing is, this is a big announcement today. Shad Khan infamously said, or famously, because it was right, many years ago when he came here, that looked like a bombed out building in another country. And we have been working for years trying to get that eyesore down, and now it's happening.
The developer has been pretty adamant about the city removing the condemnation and demo order once they move forward with it. Is the city working with them to remove that condemnation now that site work has begun?
As soon as it's completed, as soon as the demo is completed, then we will work with them to remove the administrative fine that's currently on the property.
A lot of veterans, Navy veterans, would like to see the USS Orlak come down. And does this have any impact on the Orlak, and maybe what's in the future for the USS Orlak coming to Jacksonville?
I don't know how this will impact it. Are you up to date on the discussions there?
I don't think it will. DIA is working with the order.
That's a great question for DIA.
Mayor, we've been here before.
We have.
Many times.
Yes.
We were watching, what's supposed to become a hotel and a
Right.
family rec center. I mean, we were right on the verge of that. Are you worried about that happening again?
We are now taking the big step of removing that eyesore. And the step that I hesitated to take for years because my team was collaborating with people was the condemnation. It's recently been condemned. We just had enough. We'd been through too many of these, to your point. Too many conversations about who's going to buy it, what are they going to do, are they going to knock it down or not. It's been condemned, and the new buyer is committed to, there's crews there today prepping it, to bring this eyesore down.
How much is the demolition and who's paying for it?
I don't know the cost because the city's not paying for it. Do we know cost?
We do.
Stephanie knows cost, but taxpayers are not paying for this.
That's right. It's the cost based on the permit that was requested from the contractors, a little over $1 million.
Mayor, the draft is this week. What does having a good football team as far as correlation with a thriving downtown, does this correlate? Is this going to kind of set a fire under the city to get all these empty properties filled with with buildings?
Yeah, I mean, look, the team has said that when the football team does well, it's good for downtown, and what's good for downtown is good for the team and vice versa. So we all saw what it felt like in 2017 when we had a year that if based on the players that they had built in, it looked like we were maybe going to go on a multi-year run then, and that didn't happen. But here we are now with Urban Meyer, a coach that's got a history of winning at the highest levels everywhere he's been. We all know that we have the first pick, the first time we've ever had the first overall pick in the draft, and we all know, we believe who that might be. And then we've got another number of picks as well. And I think we really this year are going to turn the page, and we're going to have a good run in the years ahead. And it's going to be good it's going to be fantastic for downtown.
Mayor, you have a little over 2 years left in your term. What's going to be your downtown development strategy? What's the goal in the end game for you in the remaining years of your administration?
Downtown?
Yes, sir.
Well, I mean, look, I think you look at the stuff right now that the DIA is working on, which includes some of the stuff that the football team still wants to do. I mean, look, I actually went for a jog through downtown this morning from the east side to the west side, and it just made me think we need to put a paper out to you guys to see all the stuff that's actually happening and being done. So we're just going to continue focusing on the priorities we focused on. The future of the former landing is a part of that, piece of that puzzle as well. Look, we've spent, there was so, and I know people get frustrated because they want to see buildings going up, and we've seen some of that, but we had years of talk about what would happen to downtown. When I first came into office, many people, including members of the media, I'd go to editorial board meetings at the Times-Union, and I would always get asked, when are you going to do something about the landing? When are you going to get rid of the existing facility? We did that. Now Berkman II is coming down. And so we're making progress with the old City Hall courthouse. We've readied our downtown for private investment. And I want to see that happen on my watch, but I'm going to be just as grateful and the biggest cheerleader for the next mayor and the next city council as that stuff is happening because of the work we've done here together.
The administrative fine that was mentioned, is there a debt that's associated with that to the city based on the previous, can you say a little more about that?
There's no debt associated with the city. It's a fine that's put on the property, and it rolls on a daily basis. But what's required is compliance. So when the building is demolished, then it's considered complied. So the fine will then go away at that point. It'll be released.
There are, as you mentioned, various buildings in the past couple of years that have gone down. Are you eyeing more to come down? If so, what are they?
I can't think of any. So the Berkman one's been on my mind for many years. Obviously, the landing, we accomplished that, and there'll be something developed there at some point as DIA go through its process. I'm not in any discussions that you're aware of, are you? About more demolitions at this point?
Not right now.
Not right now. Unless there's more questions on this, I'll close with something on the draft. Anybody got any other questions?
What would you like to see in the landing property personally? Do you have any?
The process needs to play itself out. DIA is an independent authority. They'll work their process. That'll get to the city council and get to us. I'll say this. I do think I want to see some form of activity there, whatever that looks like, commercially or residentially. They'll figure that out. I do think some piece of green space, significant green space, it's my personal opinion, should also be a part of that so our residents have access to that beautiful waterfront.